It has been more than a year and hundreds of millions of miles in the making, but NASA's latest Mars probe, called Maven, has finally arrived at the Red Planet. The spacecraft, which is not meant to land, will conduct its observations while orbiting around Mars. Corey Powell is the editor-at-large for Discover magazine. So, Maven, what is it designed to do?
It's designed to sniff the air of Mars and to find out, basically, why is Mars cold and dry, Earth is warm and wet? The theory is that billions of years ago, Mars was a pretty nice place. In fact, Mars might have been a nicer place than Earth. There's some thinking that life actually started on Mars and made its way to Earth, but something over there went very wrong and something over here went very right. This mission is about figuring out what that is.
I happen to like Earth. I'll take Earth
right now, Earth is the place to be.
Yeah. So this one isn't landing. I mean, we've had some pretty interesting landings on Mars of late.
Right. So this one is designed to sort of look at the whole planet and really study the atmosphere. What happened to the air? What happened to the water? So it's going to stay in orbit, goes around, and it actually passes through the atmosphere of Mars on each lap, and it has detectors, essentially sniffers, picking up the gases and studying the chemical evolution of the planet.
There is also going to be company up there for this particular rover. The nation of India has launched a Mars mission.
It's quite a historic moment. So Maven reached Mars yesterday. India reaches Mars tomorrow, and this is India's first deep space probe. It's actually the first time, other than the Americans, the Europeans, and the Russians, that a nation has tried to go beyond Earth into deep space. So these missions go wrong a lot of the time, and there have been as many misses as hits. So we'll find out tomorrow night if India has the right stuff.
Yeah, and the Chinese are not going to be sitting back and taking this lightly. I mean, they kind of have a competitive situation with regard to India, and they have their own space program.
They have their own space program. They're planning their own space station, which coincidentally is supposed to go up right around the time ours retires. But yeah, you better believe that they're going to be right behind India.
All right, and I guess are the Indians kind of working with NASA on what their probe is going to send back, or
it's an independent effort, but maybe by coincidence, maybe by design, the two of them are actually very complementary. So the NASA probe is going to basically look back in history. How did Mars get like this? Was it once a nice place to be? The Indian probe, one of the things it's going to do is it's actually going to sniff for methane gas, which, if there's life on Mars right now, that would be one of the things that would tell you the answer. So the two of them go nicely hand in hand.
And we're still supposedly pushing to put an astronaut on Mars one of these days?
Well,
15 years from now or something?
If you go online and you read the NASA website, it says that that's supposed to happen in the 2030s, and President Obama mentions it. If you look for where the money is and where the actual program is, it's strangely missing. But in theory, we're still committed to doing that. We have this giant new rocket called the Space Launch System. It needs someplace to go, and I personally would love to see it go to Mars. I just need to see the money. We all need to see the money.
And that's an awfully long trip for a human being to try to undertake.
It is. I mean, there's a private company called Mars One, which is going to try to do this. They're going to try to beat Mars. And Elon Musk and SpaceX, he says he wants to go to Mars. So it's possible that some private adventurer will get there first.
I would go to the moon. Mars, forget it. Corey Powell, thank you. Heather, you're laughing. What?
You'd go to the moon, but not Mars.
Yeah, it's too long a trip.
Okay, thanks, John.